I straight up stole this idea from a dude named great YouTuber, awesome animator. Totally dig this dude's vibe. And he stole this idea from a dude named Kevin Kelly.
I'm Kevin Kelly. I'm senior maverick at Wired magazine and author of a bunch of books, including What Technology Wants. I have pinned to my Twitter profile, over the long term, the future is decided by optimists. And recently I turned 68. So I thought I would pull up this rocking chair and sit in it and dispense some unsolicited advice to young people.
I watched this video from Struthless. I watched this guy's video on my 37th birthday, and I was like, you know what? I should make a video like that. And here we are, 2 months later, making the video. I've been working on these rules a little bit at night because I've been journaling at least a sentence a day, every day, unless I miss a few days. And then I look at my journal and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it'd been a day since I journaled a sentence, and it's been like 6 days. Time flies by. Let's just get into the list. First one, don't lie. Super simple, hard to do because there's a lot of times in life where you want to lie, mostly because you're insecure or you're afraid of what might happen if you tell the truth. Now, you don't need to be a jerk about the truth. You don't need to like say things that you're thinking all the time. You can keep them to yourself. But when you lie, what is the Mark Twain quote? A man that doesn't lie doesn't have to have that good a memory or something. I don't know. Let's put the quote on the screen. Rule 2, make your bed. It's a thing from Jordan Peterson. I was really into Jordan Peterson before he took the red pill and shoved it all the way up his, you know.
And I'm not taking down that tweet or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. Up yours, woke moralists.
You know what I'm talking about, you little incel boys. It's not society's fault. It's your fault. Get your stuff together. Yeah, make your bed. You know, if my house is a mess, I don't feel like I have any authority or any autonomy to like try to organize anything else in the world. And when I go into someone's house and their house is trash and they start trying to tell me how to live my life, I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. So start by making your bed. Also, it's great to wake up, make your bed. It feels like a win, and you get to start your day with a win. Rule or tip 3, take care of your teeth. Man, I grew up guzzling down Mountain Dew, drinking Mountain Dew like it was water. I remember running out of soda often. And it wasn't Mountain Dew. It was like Mountain Spring or whatever, the 3-liter 99-cent boys.
What are you doing?
I was just drinking Mountain Dew. What? It tastes good.
Who needs taste? When you have Mountain Lightning.
Mountain Lightning, Mountain Lightning, Mountain Lightning, Mountain.
And I'd say to my mom, we don't have anything to drink. She's like, you have water? And I'm like, I don't drink that. So that paired with a bunch of cocaine, rubbing it on my teeth, and I don't know, drinking 5ths of whiskey and 2 liters of Coke almost every night for several years of my life. It's made for some expensive trips to the dentist. Take care of your teeth. Floss your teeth. Brush your teeth multiple times a day. Your future self will thank you. Have a sleep schedule. This is boring, but it's important. Go to sleep around the same time. And I fought this for a long time, especially when I was boozing. I would stay up till like 2 a.m., drinking 6 IPAs on a Friday night, and I'd wake up the next day not only feeling hungover, but feeling super tired. Now a Friday night for me looks like, I don't know, some kombucha, some hot tea, watching some Netflix, going to sleep around 11. Sometimes we get crazy, you know, living la vida loca. We stay up till 12 a.m., 12:30, and on those nights, I feel like trash. And I think the instinct is to stay up late and to party and to get rough and rowdy. But really, you can do that stuff the next morning. I really like getting up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Man, I never thought I'd say that, but it's true. Rule 5, prioritize your time. I think this one seems simple on the surface, but it's really easy, especially when you have kids and a job and a career and a business and a YouTube channel and all the things you're building. It's so easy to work all the time. It's very easy to serve everyone else, and you can't pour from your cup into someone else's if you don't have anything in your cup. You got to schedule some time to go get a massage, go like just sit on the couch and veg.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty good. You're thinking, I might like to do nothing myself. Well, let me tell you, doing nothing is not as easy as it looks. You have to be careful. Because the idea of doing anything, which could easily lead to doing something, that would cut into your nothing, and that would force me to have to drop everything.
Rule 6, tip 6, lesson 6. Are these rules, tips, lessons? I don't know. They're things that make your life better, and I've been thinking about them for a couple months. That's what they are. Compliment strangers. If you're trying to get better at talking to people and making friends, an easy way to break the ice with anybody is to compliment something. I do this constantly. I developed this when I was a waiter and a bartender. But I'd be like, I like your earrings. I like your shirt. I like your watch. And don't bullshit this. If you're not practiced in complimenting people, it might feel goofy at first, but now it's just like second nature to me. I'll be like, yo, I like your jewelry. I like your shirt. And sometimes, a lot of times actually, I'll say I like your watch, and someone will tell me about how their friend from 20 years ago bought it for them, and we end up having like a 40-minute long conversation at a Starbucks or, I don't know, a fancier coffee shop. And this is also a way that I've gotten a lot of like organic business from my video and my media business. Be like, oh, cool. I like that. I like your business card. What do you do? This is what I do. And I can see how this would sound manipulative from the outside, but honestly, this is a really good way just to engage with the world around you. Tip 7, solve problems immediately. When something comes up, a bill, a tax situation, an argument with your loved one, a letter from the kid's school, don't put it off. Solve it right away. Put out the fire right away. I learned this from Jordan Peterson. He talks about it's like an analogy with a dragon, and your problems are this dragon, and you got to kill dragons, right? The easiest way to kill a dragon is when it's a baby. You go into the cave and you're like, die, baby dragon. But if you ignore a dragon, Number 8, keep a journal. Oh man, let me just say something real quick. Bonus tip, if you're making a video called, I don't know, 37 ways to make your life better, and it's a video where you're reading from a list. Bonus tip, you ready for it? Make sure you check things off the list, so that way you don't get to the computer, you put in your SD card and you open up the editing software and you say, wait a second, I missed 2 tips. So guess what? There's gonna be another tip where I'm wearing this hoodie, different from the rest of the video. You're just gonna have to sit still and find out which other tip I skipped. Back to journaling. I said I was a writer for a long time. In my early 20s, I told people I was a writer, and I wrote a little bit, but mostly I was lying. I did a lot of writing when I was high on coke, and it's just terrible poetry. But a few years ago, I started writing for myself. And I started actually writing in the Notes app on my phone, and it was basically just a desperate plea. I was going to war with myself. I wanted to stop drinking. I wanted to start working out. I wanted to do all these things to make myself better, and I didn't do it. But when people ask me, how did you change so much in your life, John? You're so much different. The first piece of advice I always give people is to keep a journal. And if you're too afraid to admit to yourself all the things that you think you have wrong, or to admit all the things that you want to do, maybe try doing a digital journal so that way you can write out what it is. For me, it was I wrote down, I don't like myself when I drink, I don't want to keep drinking, and I don't know how to stop. I wrote that down. I even wrote like notes to future John to read to help to keep me from drinking. I did this time and time again, and then I wouldn't read the notes, or I would delete the sentence that I wrote, because it's very hard to be honest with yourself. But once I started to realize, okay, I can be honest to myself in a journal or on a digital notepad like a journal, I can be honest with myself, and it's only between me and my thoughts and what I write down. Hugely transformative. On to the next one. Number 9, there are things worse than being alone. But anyway, I was going through this hard time in my life when I was like 23, getting custody of my son, baby mama in jail, and I turned to Bukowski. And I was like, man, John, you can't start hating women. You can't do that. And I didn't do it.
Who do you think I am? Just, I'm gonna do this, live with other people.
But I was watching a Charles Bukowski documentary when I was 22, 23, going through a hard time in my life. If you watch my video about relapse, where a lot of people, well, not a lot, but some people got mad about the title and the clickbait stuff. I'm sorry. But I needed to create an emotional reaction with the title and the thumbnail to say all the stuff that I needed to say about my 10-year struggle to quit alcohol. So if you all leave me because you're mad at me, I'm fine, because there's things worse than being alone. On to 10, downsize your ambitions. Now, am I saying to not have big goals? Absolutely not. I'm a crazy person. I have ADHD probably. It's probably undiagnosed. I am able to Like, let's say I wanted to meet the president, or let's say I wanted to like get 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel. I could picture what that would feel like in such a vivid and real way that I would never actually take the first step to get to the big thing. So what I've learned is that I need to downsize my ambitions. Don't ignore the big ones, have the big ones, but start with the small ones, like making the best video I can this week. How can I make this video right now the best that I possibly can to get it out by next Thursday or Tuesday, whenever I decide to release it? And then a bunch of those small little pieces of ambition build into a big, occasionally great thing. And a lot of times, from my personal experience, I'll start doing these small little things, these small ambitions, and then I'm so surprised by the big thing. Like, I couldn't even picture what the big thing was gonna be, and it's almost always awesome.
Mood follows action, right? If you want to help, look around. And I didn't know what the problem was necessarily. Like, I could try to quantify it, but just getting out the door was the best thing I've ever done. I'm sitting up here with all of you, and I think that's because I decided, instead of just sitting around and saying that I wanted to be an ally, I went out and tried to do that for allowing me to shake stage.
11, manners above all else. Dude, when I was starting my camera business, freelancing, the one piece of advice I got the most consistently from everyone was, yeah, be good with the camera, but more importantly, be on time and don't be an asshole. 12, success is boring. If you want anything for yourself, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to have a business, if you want to have a Shopify store, all of the stuff on the surface you see, all the fun, fancy stuff, behind that, the back end of that is someone just sitting grinding away at a keyboard, writing away in a journal. When you see someone running a fast marathon, one of your friends runs a sub 3-hour marathon and you're doing 5-hour marathons, it's a lot of just going out the door and running alone every day. When you see these videos, it's a lot of me just at night, just sitting there going, oh my God, just write down a rule that you think that will make someone's life better. Stop overthinking it, do the work. It's boring and it's lonely. But all the great stuff in my life that I have right now has been the result of a lot of just boring, just sitting down and making myself do the work when no one's watching. 13, happiness is a choice. Hey, look, this is the other one that I forgot when I was filming a few days ago. I'm a dingus. The Dalai Lama talks about this all the time. Happiness is a choice. Every single day, it's a struggle. To be human, to be alive, to be inside of this sentient being as a spirit, a soul, whatever, to occupy space as a human is to be in a state of suffering. It is hard work to be happy. It is hard work to choose love. But if you want to be happy and you want to be fulfilled and you want to even have a remotely close chance of making the world a better place, you have to choose happiness. You have to choose love. On to the next one. 14, let your partner go first. It's good to have good sex. I think if you're in a relationship and you're not having good sex, sorry, but man, work on it. And the best way to work on it, the best way to have awesome sex is the same way that you have awesome business success. You put your needs to the side and then you serve the person that you're working with, or you serve the person that you're 15, don't buy boner pills from a gas station. Kind of ties into 14. It's a real thing. I can't imagine what kind of people, actually I can't imagine what kind of people buy boner pills and cologne from gas stations, but don't be one of those people.
Stamina, pink pussycat, that's for women.
I know, I was looking at that one.
Are you getting a pink pussycat, buddy?
Kind of crazy.
Well, I actually have like cramps right now, so I was hoping there was like some CBD for period cramps. But
16, a full day is the best. Man, one of the best days I've had in recent memory is the day that I ran for, or tried to run for 8 hours, ended up run walking like 32 miles or whatever. But I woke up, hung out with my brother-in-law, hung out with friends. I ran for 8 hours and I came home and Alexis and I sat on the couch and watched movies and ate takeout for like 6 hours. And at the end of that day, I was like, man, this is like 7 lifetimes. Fill your life with as many full days as possible. 17, power naps are amazing. Whatever you need to do to be able to be still, to be focused, meditation, whatever it takes for you to be okay with sitting down and setting a timer and putting your phone away for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. There is nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to hit the reset button for 15 minutes. And if you can do this and you can do it well, It can be revitalizing. It can give you life. 18, learn to be kind, honest, and funny when you talk to yourself. I've been working on a video idea for a while about not fapping for 30 days. And I talk to myself a lot during this. And one of the things I would do is I'd be like, look at you, you little horny devil. Look at you trying to resist temptation. Of course you want to just go and be a little creep by yourself because it's like the thing you're programmed to do. But you're not going to do that right now, are you? Because you're going to be a good little productive boy. And I would say this stuff out loud. And it was kind of crazy, but it worked. And it gave me grace. It allowed me to hold myself accountable, but also it allowed me to be like, dude, being a human is hard and you're trying and this is what you want to do. So you're going to get to the other side of it. But look at you. Come on. You got it. Be funny with yourself, be kind, hold yourself accountable, but also give yourself some grace. On to the next. 19, set deadlines, live by them. And this is going to take some time to figure out. This YouTube channel, for example, I have the ability to make videos that are a lot more edited and a lot more cinematic than what I do a lot of the time, but I don't have the time for it. So it's been a constant struggle of setting a deadline, missing it, adjusting, and then figuring out what that is. If you're trying to work for yourself, if you're writing a book, if you want to work out, you've got to set deadlines for yourself. 20, when making a list of rules or tips for how to better your life annually, if you're going to do this annually, don't refer to last year's tips. Sit, reflect, write your stuff down, and see what you carried over from year to year. Grow, have fun, be curious. 21, hold no judgment. Don't judge other people. Just don't do it. That's all. 22, your tongue is a dagger. I think the first time I heard this expression was when I was 20 years old, just coming out of Burning Man, head full of haziness from all of the psychedelics. And I opened the drawer to the hotel in Portland, Oregon. And instead of a book of Christianity, there was a book of Christianity and a book called The Teachings of Buddha. It was bright orange. And I was drawn in. And then I read a bunch of life lessons. One of them was your tongue is a dagger. And I thought about that. It's like going back to the thing about not lying. You don't need to tell people the brutal truth, but the words that you say can hurt other people. Your tongue is a weapon. And also the more I've gone through life, I've realized this is definitely, it's very true, if not more true, when you're talking to yourself. If you're saying negative things to yourself, you are reinforcing some narrative about who you think you are and where you are in the world that is negative. And negative things will happen and you'll have this nasty, dirty filter. Change your filter, fix your words. Your tongue is a weapon. Your tongue is a dagger. 23, if you're mad, wait a minute. Then whatever you need to do in that minute, it's up to you. But let me make a suggestion, which also is tip 24. 24, eat, sleep, shower. This works if you're mad. If you're mad and you're dirty, if you're mad and hungry, or if you're mad and you're tired, fix those three things. Take a shower, eat, sleep, rest, then think about it. This also works if you're struggling to figure out a creative problem. If you have writer's block, just take a shower, go for a walk, eat some food, rest, and then maybe the idea will come to you. This happens to me all the time. I'll be eating food. If I'm writing and I'm like, you can take a break, but you can't watch your phone, and I just sit down and eat alone downstairs, or if I go for a walk, or if I try to meditate or take a power nap, a lot of times I'll wake up from a power nap with the idea, but that's why 23 and 24 are separate, because 23 works if you're angry, but also 24 can work paired up with 23, but 24, eat, sleep, and shower applies to so many other areas in life where you may be struggling mentally, physically, whatever. 25, kill your darlings. It's an editing term. You have to be able to have self-awareness to look at the work you've created and then think about your intended audience. Like for these videos, I'm gonna have to watch some stuff and some stupid jokes I've made and think, does that serve the viewer that I think is gonna watch this video? And if not, I have to get rid of it. In the work that I do, freelance video, I talk to clients sometimes, I'm like, we have to cut this shot of these two actors. I know it took 20 takes of me walking around them with a gimbal, and it's a beautiful shot, but it just doesn't serve the narrative and the audience is gonna get bored. You have to learn to kill your darlings. You have to have self-awareness to know what darlings to kill, okay? 26, pick friends based on virtues, not politics. I've got a lot of friends that have wackadoo political opinions, in my opinion, but they're good people. They're polite. They have table manners. They're good leaders of their house. Those are the people I decide to be friends with. I don't care who they vote for. 27, don't fight the seasons of life. Think about the consistent sleep schedule. When I was 22, I wouldn't have done that. If you would have told me to, I would have been like, what do you know, you old person? And I kind of have that voice now. I'm like, oh, how cool is it that you're 37 and you want to write 37 tips to make your life better and you want to go to sleep sober at the same time every night. It's like, don't fight that. Think about the seasons if you live somewhere where you have winter, fall, spring, summer. Here, during the winter, the sun goes away, it goes down earlier in the night. This happens to most people in most places in the world. But I struggle at the beginning of the season because I'm working less and I play more video games or watch more TV. That is fine. Lean into it, embrace it, because before you know it, it's going to be 18 hours of sunshine and it's going to be a grind every day, right? But patio season will be among us. So that's cool. On to the next one. 28, consistency above all else. This goes back to deadlines. If you want to do anything awesome, if you want to write a book, if you want to start a business, man, I talk about that a lot. Clearly that's where I'm at in my life, but you have to be consistent. Right? Being consistently good is how you allow for occasional greatness to happen if it's going to happen. You have to remain consistent. And when you're consistent, you stop being a perfectionist because you can't be a perfectionist and also be consistent at the same time. 29, if you ever say, I wish I would have, stop what you're doing immediately and make plans to go and do the thing you wish you would have done. If it's something like dance lessons or guitar lessons, book the first 4 sessions. On to the next one. 30, always play. Last night, I put on a flashlight on my head, a headlamp, and I just sprinted down the trail in front of my house through the night, hooting and hollering and yelling with my dogs. And when I got done, I was like, that was a lot of fun. That felt like playing, and I need more of that in my life. Go join a softball league, join a rec league, join a running group, play video games with your friends. You gotta play, all right? You gotta play. If you don't play, you're dead. On to the next one. 31, schedule sex. I think I did a weird voice when I said sex. Schedule sex? I'm a child. Carve out time for you and your partner. And maybe you don't do all of the things. But my life has gotten significantly better when Alexis and I are like, all right, we need 2 hours to ourselves, an hour to ourselves, 30 minutes where we're going to put down the phones and we're going to cuddle. We're going to look at each other and talk to each other. And we're going to ask each other questions about growing up, things we like, and have these mini moments that we used to have all the time when we were first learning about each other. You have to make sure these moments happen. 32, borrowing this one from Douglas Adams, rest in peace, always bring a towel. Or if you're a parent, always bring napkins. My glove box is always full of napkins because you don't know if someone's going to sneeze on the back of your head. You don't know what's going to get spilt. You don't know. Always bring a towel and or napkins. 33, memento mori. A lot of people like to try to forget that they're going to die. I encourage you to think about it every day and to remember it's going to happen. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Memento mori. Maybe buy Ryan Holiday's book, The Daily Stoic, if you need some help with perspective on this area. On to the next one. 34, put yourself in a box. A lot of people don't want to be confined. A lot of people don't want labels. Don't be afraid to clearly identify who you are and what you do and who you serve. That's the only way anyone's going to care, because if you don't do that, people that are looking for answers are going to go to the other person that is a specialist. 35, you don't have to finish books. If you're reading a book and you don't like it, start another one. You'll read more books that way. On to the next one. This is more of a quote, but mood follows action. If you want to be a runner, if you want to be a writer, if you want to own a business, if you want to be a YouTuber, you're never going to feel like those things until you start doing it. If you want to feel good and you're like, once I get fit, I'll feel good. No, don't say that. Say, I'm going to start trying to get fit. And then long before you're fit, you'll feel good. Mood follows action. On to the next one. 37, another quote, closing the journal. A healthy person is full of desire and a sick person only has one.
What have I been doing?
That's it for this video. The next one will probably be about sober stuff, but who knows? This is my channel. But thank you for being here. I want to hear your lessons or tips or things that you thought I should have added into my list, or what would you put in your list? Go ahead and put those down in the comments, and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much for being here. Love your face. Stay awesome.